Joining me once again is Kendall Scudder, the state chair for the Texas Democratic Party. Chairman, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Miss Lewis. I appreciate it.
You must have had a good weekend because the results of a Texas state Senate race have been described as a political earthquake. A Democrat flipped a state Senate seat in a district that not only President Trump won handily in 2024, but a district a Democrat hasn't represented in the state Senate in 4 decades. So to start off the conversation, what do you make of the news?
It wasn't just a great weekend for me, it's a great weekend for Texans. I think there are people all across the country right now who are just absolutely fed up with a government that's built for billionaires, by billionaires, serving billionaires, that are treating our tax dollars like their own personal feeding troughs. And we've had it. And I think that mixed with the biggest government you've ever seen, one that can shoot moms point blank in the head, unload their clips into the back of medical professionals laying on the ground, arrest journalists, and kidnap your kids. All of that wrapped up with the fact that Lee, the Republican candidate, absolute disdain for community public schools, comments about how we should murder protesters. The Republicans have just jumped the shark. They have gone completely off the rails. And I think voters of all stripes are seeing that. We have to unite as working class people under the Democratic label to move this country forward. That's what patriots are doing. That's what I think they're going to do throughout this year. And we're going to have huge successes in November.
I want to talk about how exactly you think that this happened, because I want to talk about just how massive of a swing this was. In 2024, President Trump won this district handily by approximately 17 points. Just on Saturday, the Democrat won by 14 points. That's over a 30-point swing here. So in your view, how much did the candidates matter versus how much do you think this was a referendum perhaps on President Trump and Republicans?
It's going to be a mixture of both. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you. I'd love to tell you all of it's a referendum on Trump, but Lee, the Republican, is a horrible candidate. They're going to face off again in November, but she's just completely outside the mainstream of what most modern Americans think. Mixed with our candidate, Taylor Rehmet, who is uniquely fantastic. He self nominated himself, a union leader, a veteran who is Mr. Fort Worth, Mr. Tarrant County. I mean, doesn't get a lot more Tarrant County than Taylor Rehmet. And he campaigned in a real disciplined messaging with real message discipline along his campaign, focused on working class people and making sure that they have a government that works for them. And in doing that, had huge success. Mix that with all the things we discussed earlier and how unpopular Donald Trump is. I mean, Lee campaigned with billboards and signs everywhere that said she was Trump endorsed. How'd it go for her? Right now, I think, MAGA is the kiss of death because people know what it stands for now. People were sold a false bill of goods. They were lied to, and they were given a government, that is just run amok by billionaires, and it's working out in the Democrats' favor, but lots of pain in this government along the way to get there.
To your point about Taylor Rehmet, he's the Democratic candidate who ultimately won this race. He's an Air Force veteran. He's also a union leader. And this is how he described the race. This isn't red versus blue. This is right versus wrong. When you're looking at this, do you think that this is a strategy Democrats can apply both in Texas and nationwide?
Yeah, I mean, we're firm believers that that's the situation we have at hand right now. It's right versus wrong. I mean, literally the first thing that this president did whenever he came into office was pardon a whole bunch of people that beat the hell out of the police on January 6th. I mean, that's not left or right, that's right and wrong. And he aligned on the wrong side of it. The list goes on. I could go on and list them forever, from that all the way to passing a tax plan where the richest people now pay a lower tax rate than the poorest. People know that this is not right. This is not American values. I will go as far as to say that Donald Trump and his allies have run this country in a way that's completely un-American, and we're not going to take it anymore. And so Taylor's completely right. This is about just doing the right thing by the little guy and making sure he has a seat at the table, that his kids have high quality schools, that it doesn't matter what his zip code is. He should be able to see a doctor before he gets sick and when he gets sick. To make sure that every person has the opportunity to pursue the American dream. Politicians have lost the plot, and we're here to bring it back.